Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to St. Teresa's World News. I'm Gabriella.
And I'm Brayden. In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We help them find it and the latest in weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house and, before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky abode was built as a tourist attraction, as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on its roof and has steel beams in the attic. Inside the house, there are beds screwed to the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom, though it is not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this would take 3 weeks to build. This one took over 4 months because the workers kept getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complained of feeling sick and dizzy after just a few minutes inside. We now cross over to our reporter Bella, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Isaiah?
Thanks, Gabriella. I'm here with the owner of the house, Isaiah, and I'm feeling excited. So what made you decide to build this upside-down house?
It's awesome.
What comment do you feel the house makes about the state of the world?
People's hands will turn into feet, and people's feet will turn into hands.
What are the challenges of living in a house where everything's upside down?
If you cook, your food will go in the ceiling.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Bella for St. Teresa's News. Back to you, Gabriella, in the studio.
Thanks, Bella. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter and the world of science is catching up the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by blending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that make objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible. One top scientist says the possibilities are endless, and we are very excited. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears. The inventor of the cloak said it disappears. They are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak. Here is our on the spot report Leo, which more on the story.
Hello, I'm Leo, and with me is Wacky, one of the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi, Tacky, and thanks for joining us today. What makes you want to invent the invisibility cloak?
Well, we're going to the Britney Spears concert, right?
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't let us in, but we're like the first ones on the list. I mean, gosh, we could see our names, but they couldn't. They're like
Blind.
yeah, and like so we decided to build
To make
it a coat, the invisibility thing, and then to sneak in to the Britney Spears concert.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Can you show me how the invisibility cloak works?
Well, it's invisible right now. We'll do an example on Laura. Okay, so just put it on Laura, and then she disappears like this. I mean, wacky, like this. And yeah.
Okay. Very amazing. What do you hope to do with the invisibility cloak?
Sneak into concerts and movies.
Yeah.
And sneak into like manicure people places and stuff, and like watch movies and concerts and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. How did you make the invisibility cloak?
Well, it's a bit of a secret, but we'll tell you.
Yeah, but the cameras have to be off anyway. So it's invisible now. Well, you put it into the water. You put it. You get green fabric and then any color, and then you just sew it all together if there's like little pieces, and then you just put it under water, right? And then wet. Soap and powder and flour and stuff, and then you like rub it all together, right? And then you put it back in the water, and then leave it for like an hour and a half, and then it's just invisible. I mean, and it turns green. It's invisible right now.
That's good.
Well, that makes everything very clear. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Gabriella, in the studio.
Thanks, Leo. And now, how's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country, thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wall-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the Knitters' activities of the gang are illegal because their willy crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of wool and graffiti is growing, and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing, police say, and warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. They are a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We go now to a secret location with our investigate reporter Taylor, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Gabriella. I'm Taylor, and joining us today is a special member of the location's Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Granny Knickers, and thanks for joining us. What led you into the dark underworld of the knitted graffiti?
Well, I liked knitting, but I couldn't find anyone to knit on, so I thought I'd knit my cat a dress, but she didn't like it, and she scratched me, see? So I thought I could dress up, I could go into town that night and dress up, make a dress, and for the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I went that night and I put it on, and it was so fun that night I just kept on doing it.
Okay. Do you see yourself as a criminal?
No, I see myself as an artist.
Apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolness?
The Statue of Liberty.
What's the next biggest thing you're going to knit?
Kate Middleton's wedding dress.
Thanks for your time, Granny Knickens of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to Samantha with the weather updates.
Thank you, Taylor. Let's look at tomorrow's weather. In Auckland, there is a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions. But those are the conditions, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Starting from north in Kayaka, look out for some pretty big flash floods. The rainbow that's as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. There'll be no weather in Bay of Pines. It's taking a short holiday, but it's expected to be back for the weekend. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will be sometimes changed and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In Tayaka, a mild depression brings a very dull day, with no highlights at all. It will be overcast and gloomy all morning. But things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine.
Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Karakuku can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim and reading the newspapers. But try to stay indoors. The weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms and some very angry snow. And the lower South Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop out over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from us. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. And now back to the news desk with Gabriella and Braden.
Thanks, Sam and Michelle. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed this evening broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Until then, I'm
Gabriella.
And I'm Braden for St. Teresa's World, New Zealand News.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Inohura.
Inohura.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1.